Hey y'all, it's Natasha here with another diamond painting tip and tricks and hack tutorial. So this one here is perfect because my fat cat decided he was going to just walk across my diamond painting that I was getting ready to start this tutorial on about firm and light pressing. So it gives me a perfect view for you to see that the lighter that you press something, the easier it's going to be to pick it up and move it. And you're going to have these mishaps every so often where something is going to get spilled on your diamond painting. You're going to go to get a drill and the tray's going to tip over, or you're like me and you have a fat cat who decides he's got to be the king of the show, and you know, he rules the house anyway. So sometimes these things come with tweezers, and the tweezers are pretty nice, except sometimes the tweezers don't always go to the very ends. So I have two sets of tweezers here. The first one I showed you was pretty cool, and then this one's got this little weird lippy thing at the end. Yeah, that don't do much for trying to grab your diamonds when they fall. It doesn't have anything to hold on to. See, it's not doing a good job there. So those are probably going to go in the trash. But hey, not too bad. I was able to pick it up. The reason why you want to try to do something like that is because these are very sticky. So you want something to kind of try to get underneath that stickiness and kind of try to lift it up. Your nails don't always work as well as you hope. So after cleaning up the fat cat's mess, and his name is Prince, by the way, because he is an absolute prince. He thinks everything revolves around him. You get to go through and, you know, clean up your mess and then make a new one. So this one here, we're going to, don't have very much going on with that glue. Need some more wax. I like keeping my wax on top of my tray because it all sits in a storage container, so it keeps it nice and clean. And that way I can either run it off to the end like that, or push straight down and pull. So it's already pushed up in there. It's nice and firm. And I am doing this one-handed, so just because I'm holding my phone, I'm not one of those YouTubers yet that have the nice little stands for everything. But this is kind of one of those, yeah, it's a nice little hack right there for that. So, and then the wax, of course, can come up and down. It's just wax. Sorry about my little toesies there at the top of the picture. You know, I'm sitting here on my couch doing this, so that's the reason why you get to see my toesies. Now, firm versus light. Some people like both. Some people do both. Some people like one or the other. The reason being, if you put it down here, very nice and light, you're not very sure, your hands are shaking that day, you've had maybe way too much caffeine, and when you set it down, you kind of set it in between, you missed your aim, or you didn't set it right, or, hey, things happen. You might have dropped it before it got there. So you can slide it around. I mean, this stuff is very firm. Only to a degree that you can slide it around. See? It's starting to get a little tougher. It doesn't want to do it. Now it's there. So, hey, I was able to fix that. And then, hey, when I put this one down here and the little part of the logo showing underneath, I can move it over again. Keep in mind, though, it's not very firm. It's not very set. So at the same time, you know, when you go to fold this up or roll it up or anything like that, you're going to have a harder time keeping the drills on there until you firmly set, or, you know, do whatever it is that you do to set. Some people use glue, some use other adhesives, sprays. I mean, you name it, it's probably been used to set diamond drills. But again, that's a different tutorial, different thing coming up. We'll have that discussion as to what works best on how to set your drills. This is just the first part. You're still doing your whole masterpiece, your whole painting. So with this one, you've seen what it was like to put a light drill down and be able to move it. This one, you're very firm, your hands are very okay, and you got it directly in the middle, and you give it that nice firmness. But do you see what happens there? it got that little bit of a nasty, gunky, see that little pink stuff? That's that wax. See, it's moving? Ew, you don't want that on there. And that was just because when you press down on it, some of that wax stayed on there. Well, you don't want your wax to stay on your diamonds. It's going to take away the shine. And also, if you're trying to clean it up, it's going to get down on your sticky part next to it, and then your next diamond is not going to stay. It's not going to be very good. But, guess what? This one stayed, and it's, see how hard it is now to move? See that adhesive? It doesn't want to go anywhere until you kind of work it a little bit, and now it's able to move. So, again, it's all about your preference. Now, when I'm done with my diamond painting, I like to take away, again, a different tutorial, but I like to have a way that I clean my diamonds, so that way anything that does leave a residue on there is going to be cleaned up, and your diamonds are going to actually have that super sparkle. So, it all depends on your preference. Are you a firm? Are you a light? What's your preference? Because personally, I kind of do both. At the same time, you know, there's just only so much that you can take when you're kind of doing these. Do you want that extra gooiness around there, or do you want to take the risk of having your drills fall off as you're working on your project? Some adhesives are more stronger than others. You might have to do a firm press. If you do an absolute firm press and it gets stuck and there's all that glue, waxy residue on there, it's not going to make your picture look nice. So just keep that in mind. Typically the lighter touch is the best, because then once you're done with your picture, you can set books on it, you can rolling pin it to set your diamonds and keep them in place. But again, do you see that? It's not very nice. But at the same time, my row wasn't perfect, it was a little off. So when I go to put the next row in, I might have had to move these around, you know? So drop in the comments, what do you prefer? What kind of tips and tricks are you looking for? We can upload a new video every so often, so keep checking back. Your tips and tricks, your suggestions might become another video later on down the road and help somebody out that way. So keep them coming, guys. Share the love. Make everything sparkle. You guys have a great rest of your day. Bye, y'all.